And greetings YouTube gamers, welcome to another episode of Retro Radar. My name is Johnny Retro and welcome to the channel. So a big part of being a game collector is actually to do a lot of research and a lot of reading, and sometimes we get across stuff that we didn't know it existed or we totally skipped back in the day. So what I'm going to bring you guys today are 5 video game systems that there's a good chance you guys never heard about it before. So let's take a closer look right after this. Now, the first one, I want to talk about the Casio PV1000. This system was only released in Japan in late of 1983. It is said that the system was taken out of the shelves just a couple of weeks after it was released. There were only 15 games released for it, and the primary reason why the system failed was because the Nintendo Famicom was already out, and it had a bigger and best library of games, and it truly was a much more powerful system. This is a very rare system to find, so if you're looking for one, well, good luck. The second system that I have for you guys today is a system from the 16-bit era. Now, when we talk about the 16-bit era, we immediately think about Sega and Nintendo, the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis and the Super Nintendo. But there was an obscure console, a 16-bit console released only in Taiwan called the Super ACAN. This system was a Taiwan exclusive, it was released in 1995. And it was a commercial failure. This system failed miserably, it never got a release outside of Taiwan. And a big reason for that was because 95, I mean, the 3D era was already here. So 16-bit graphics was already a thing from the past. Only 12 games were released for the system, and you do have a little bit of everything. You have a couple of platformers, you have a couple of RPGs, but unless you know how to speak Chinese, you are not going to have a lot of fun with it. The best-selling game for the Super ACAN was a fighting game called Sango Fighter, and it truly was a Street Fighter ripoff. It was actually the only game that I've played from the system, and I played it on emulation, of course. But if you like the 16-bit era, definitely check out the Super ACAN. Now let's jump into the world of retro PC gaming. I want to talk about a very obscure Sega system. A Sega PC, if you will. I want to talk about the Sega Tera drive. Now, this system was a partnership between IBM and Sega, so what this system is pretty much is an IBM PC compatible system with an integrated Sega Mega Drive. It was developed by Sega and manufactured by IBM, released in 1991 exclusively in Japan. So it could function as both a computer and a console. So if you run this in PC mode, you pretty much have an IBM PC with a IBM DOS operating system. And if you run it as a console mode, you have pretty much a Japanese Mega Drive. There were 3 different models of the Sega Tera drive. The Model 1 had a floppy drive, the second model had 2 floppy drives, and the third model had a floppy drive and a CD drive. So you have the best of both worlds here. You can play PC games and you can play Mega Drive games in one single machine. Now, I really don't like to talk about prices on this channel, but I've actually known this system. I got across it just a couple of months ago, and it got me interested because I'm a huge Mega Drive fan. So I went to eBay, and after a quick research, I mean, this system is very expensive. But it is a collectible, and it is a rare system to get. But if you're into the Sega Mega Drive, and if you like IBM computers, check out the Sega Tera drive. Now, speaking about hybrid computers, this next system is a system that I actually own. It is a console / computer released by Atari, and it is actually my favorite console by Atari. So I want to talk about the Atari XE GS. So this system was released in 1987, and it was the last attempt for Atari to compete with the NES. And at that time, the Atari 7800 was already a thing from the past, but Atari did have a very successful line of 8-bit computers. So what this is pretty much is an Atari XE computer with a new shell. This system was released with a keyboard, a light gun, and a joystick. Now, I know it is not a very appealing system, but it is actually a very cool system to own these days. Now, in terms of graphics, if you like old school Atari graphics, this system is actually pretty cool. It has native RGB output, and the sound quality of this is just amazing. I mean, it is really arcade perfect. I would say that the sound of this machine is even better than the NES. So these are the cartridges for the XE GS, and this is a personal favorite of mine. This is Archon. So these games were pretty much ports from older Atari games, but you can really open the library of this system because this system is pretty much compatible with the entire 8-bit line of Atari games. So you can play original Atari 8-bit computer cartridges, and if you get one of these are pretty cheap and very easy to find. You open the library even more because you can play cassette games. You can also program on this machine. It has Atari Basic built in it. So if you like programming, if you like retro computers, if you like Atari, definitely check out the Atari XE GS. And by the way, let me know in the comment section below if you guys want me to review the Atari XE GS on the channel. Now, we've talked about home consoles, we've talked about hybrid computers, but we still haven't talked about handhelds. And this next handheld is actually another console that I have from this list. This console was manufactured in Europe, and it is a very good solid proof that we Europeans don't know how to make video game consoles. So may I present to you the DigiBlast. So this handheld was released in Europe in 2005, and it was supposed to be competing with the PSP and the Nintendo DS. But of course, it failed miserably. The concept of the system was actually pretty good. It was supposed to function as a multimedia center. So this is a cartridge-based system, and the concept was that you could actually watch cartoons on it, you could play video games, and you could use it as a MP3 player. Yeah, big thing in 2005. But although the concept was good, it was very poor executed. So graphic-wise, I would compare this system to the Game Boy Advance, but if you're competing with the PSP and the Nintendo DS, you need better than that. Most of the games released for this platform were older ports from older games, and the cartoons that you could watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you could watch Yu-Gi-Oh, stuff like that, and there was another add-on where you could plug this into the TV and play and watch cartoons on the TV. Like I said, a good concept, but not very well done. Again guys, let me know in the comment section below if you guys want me to review the DigiBlast on the channel, because I do have all of the add-ons and a couple of games for it. There you go guys, these were my 5 obscure video game systems, and please let me know in the comment section below if you guys knew about the systems at all. Do you own one of these? Do you own all of them? Or you didn't know about it at all? Let me know on the comment section below. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to put a like on this video, please subscribe to the channel, and take care of yourselves, take care of the gaming community, and game a lot.